Welcome back. We've got a serious subject today, heart disease, which is the leading cause of death worldwide. And Friday is World Heart Disease, and Dr. Rojan Subedi, an international cardiologist at Singing River Health System, is here to tell us how we can make sure our hearts stay healthy. So welcome. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. I'm smiling, but it is a very serious topic, kind of like we mentioned earlier. So first, just give me a little insight on cardiovascular diseases and the severeness of it.
First, thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely.
It's a pleasure to be here. I just wanted to tell that cardiovascular disease, as you mentioned, is a leading cause of death worldwide, accounting for more than 20 million people dying every year. Right? What we can at least do is at least work on the modifiable risk factor that can prevent, or at least treat the cardiovascular disease. I broadly categorize them into three major categories. One is a metabolic, like high blood pressure, cholesterol, obesity. Those are the main metabolic causes. The other thing are like behavioral, what we can do, right? So your dietary habits are the most important one. Smoking, alcohol,
right.
Your physical activity. And the other things are environmental factor. I don't think we have much control, but still can do.
Very true, very true.
Exactly. So I think those are the major one, which we should be focusing on for our better cardiovascular health.
Gotcha. Okay, so then kind of expand more just like on early detection, what people can look for. I know you kind of mentioned like obesity and things like that, but just if people can pre-screen themselves, or what signs show that they should maybe see a cardiologist or anything like that.
So most often like cardiovascular disease are asymptomatic, right? I mean, people might have symptoms, but it's always good to screen before thing happens. And as I mentioned, like there are like risk factor we can address. Like high blood pressure for me is the biggest one. As I mentioned, 20 million people die because of cardiovascular health disease every year. 10 million of them like dying is directly contributed by high blood pressure. So it's very important for us to screen for hypertension, timely treat, so that we prevent the progression into heart disease or stroke. And it can be done with simple blood pressure measuring in your pharmacy, local pharmacy, going to doctor's office, and taking it seriously that it's not a simple problem.
Absolutely.
Right? And obesity is the big one, and there are many medications now to help, which are safe, effective, and it helps with the cardiovascular health also. But I want to emphasize on the dietary habits. After blood pressure, I think the dietary habits is the biggest one, like where it contributes almost 6 to 8 million deaths per year, right? So we want to eat healthy. Healthy means lots of fruits, vegetable, nuts, fiber, whole grain, all those stuff, and avoid like those bad foods like chips, candies, right?
And but yes, you're right.
Red meat, like processed meat, all those are the trans fat. Those are very bad for health. At least we can work on that. Quitting smoking, limiting your alcohol. I would say like quitting on the alcohol. Those are the big thing we can work to prevent the cardiovascular disease.
Well, that's incredible. And very last question, really quickly, just I know you want to get out. How can people book an appointment with you or somebody to be seen very quickly?
I mean, we have location in all three places, in Gulfport, Biloxi, and Pascagoula and Ocean Spring. So you can call our office and we can make an appointment anytime. Most of the time we see within a week. We can see them in next day also. And mainly what we do is we work with you, and and your family, putting you at the forefront of any decision making regarding your care for the improvement of your cardiovascular health.
Well, perfect. Thank you so very much for joining us this afternoon. It was an honor to have you, and hopefully we'll have some more word out because it's Friday, right? World Heart Day?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you for inviting me.